Okay, so what do you think about the solution I showed you? Just general thoughts
Okay.
before you get to recommendations.
Okay. I think it's a very it's a good principled approach towards firstly identifying I don't know what word to use, challenge, problem, or even an opportunity. All right, and also then attempting to find solutions. But I think it's a very well thought, well laid out. The components are laid out very nicely, and I like the fact that even though we express silos, we have actually, it's almost like to say we don't have 50 silos, but we've got 7 as an example. They're silos, but they're contextualized to say, is this silo, and it's not just a silo because it's a silo, because nobody can identify where it's, but it's within a silo. And because and again, just the way it's laid out, it's not like a silos in a row. I'm gonna call them silos, right? It's not silos in a row. They are around the center. All right, I like that. So yeah, just general feedback. I like the way it's laid out. I like the artifacts and components that have also been used to demonstrate this. It's very good. Yeah. General.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think it's something that could work?
I think it could work. There are maybe a few components, I've not counted, there are a few components that I think if they were to be added, they could add to that working, right? So I think it could work. The couple of things I think that one could add that would even make it work even more. And I've heard you talk about them, but I don't see them reflected here. And yeah, but when we get to that point, obviously, we can deliberate.
Okay.
But definitely can work. Definitely.
So taking into consideration the 2029 vision, is it aligned? Somewhat.
Yes, it's definitely aligned. Why? Because all the infrastructure, if I'm to put it that way, is in place already. So, this would be the difference between starting afresh and taking what you have and potentially, this is Lego, right? We can say, nah, this is too high. Maybe let's take one row and place it somewhere else. But the important thing is that the blocks are here already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of changes or recommendations, what do you think I could change to make it more inclusive? Or what is your first problems?
Okay.
Let's start with your issues.
Okay. One thing I'm seeing here, I don't see the customer. Where's the customer? Right? And obviously, even if you were to point and say, here's the customer, the first question I'd ask you is, why is the customer there? Right? Let's say, for instance, you say that this is the customer. I'd ask you, why is the customer there? Right? So, I would think that I'm actually seeing this as some kind of like an old city, right?
Interesting.
With what some people call a moat, right? Around this city. So think about like Game of Thrones and all that. Like it's like a city with walls, and around that, there's water. You can't just come and climb the wall. You must swim through that water, and you don't know what's in there. All right. But let's look at. This is now a solution to a challenge. This is now a positive thing. It's not like this is negative. There'd be sharks in the water. Think of this being clean water. That's how I would see it. Clean water around the city, and you've got your customers, your clients. There are people living in the village, around this city. And what they do is that they come here and they draw water. Another question would be, where do they draw water from? Do they go into the city? Not necessarily. They don't need to. All right. They come and, like I'm saying, if this is water, they come and draw water from here. Now, how do you know if this water is fresh? I would then take this and almost like make it spill over into what. So this is almost like, imagine it being like, let's say for instance, a grid. It's drawing from all these silos and this is the main silo, and this
Yeah.
silo spills over into the water. This is, everything comes from there. This doesn't spill over into the water. No, it feeds in, and the only outlet is over here. You see, so I think for me that's, and I know that's a visual thing, all right. That's what I'm saying, that you've mentioned some of these concepts. I think I'm just kind of like making them visually kind of like. I mean, you can imagine if you presented me something like that, I'd be like, whoa, this is interesting. This thing must be very important because everything goes over into that, type of thing. So the way I see it, really, even the borders of this box, I know for you it might seem like a container for someone else, but for me, the way I see it, this is actually the enclosure. This is like.
Is everything okay still?
All good, brother.
Lovely, hey?
So this is part of it, right? And like I'm saying, imagine villagers coming in to dip out of, and this is the water. This could have been blue. They dip out, they leave.
Yeah.
But they're not. It's not because they're closest now to this one or the closest to here.
Yeah.
Just go, hey, give me some water. No. Everything comes out of this point.
So is it dangerous to have these? Because how it looks now is that these systems, these subsystems, are accessible to anyone.
It looks like it, but
They
yeah.
directly access. So what is stopping an FM user, an FM person from denying FMES and going directly to the subsystems and using the subsystem
100%.
information?
That comes now to my second point in my the other recommendation you're talking about. In my opinion, oopsie, sorry. Yeah, I started it.
In
Just
your
makes it still
professional
recording.
opinion.
In my opinion, all of this is great, but it's missing one important thing, and that is leadership. Right? The question that you ask is very, very, very key. All of these silos would need to take leadership from leadership. To say the only way that you interact with the public, with the users of FM services, is through this source, this distribution point. So someone comes and they say, oh, I'm so close to security. Hey, you know what? I fell. I need footage very, very quickly because I'm going tomorrow. These guys say, wow, we'd love to help you. Thank you very much. Listen, the only way I can help you is to get data from here. But for that to be done, you're going to need to log a service request. And even if you go to them directly, right, they're also going to serve you out of this node. So you need to understand that every single thing. I mean, you can walk around and see all the other services that you render. You might even get here and say, you know what, space, you guys have got footage, or you've got presence in whatever, data, whatever, you've got some sensors, Can I have some of the detail? Eventually, all of it. This hub here does not just consider security, it considers space, it considers workforce management, it considers service desk, it considers mobile services. Maybe there was someone out there, when this incident happened, type of thing. However, to consolidate all that information, it comes from here. So you know what? You are drawing from the right source. Don't worry, because you can see that everything comes from here. If it's an additional stream that you're looking for while you're drawing what you're not seeing it, it will come from here, right? Do you want me to communicate your need? I can communicate it for you, or you can do it yourself by going to the service desk. Maybe you can express it better. So I think for me, those are the two main primary things, right? Leadership. Because the question that you ask is very, very important. Any of these silos can operate autonomously.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? It's going to take too long. Let me help you.
Yeah.
But then when you start doing, you're undermining the entire process. There's a reason why this tower is higher than every other tower, right?
Access to the cloud.
Access to the cloud is very important, and I think if that's a good question. If one were to make some kind of something that feels the same thing, then needs to go here, because there's input and output. All right. So all of these silos here, they integrate into this hub, And this hub actually exists in here.
Yeah.
So it's an input point and it's also an output point. It's a very, very serious and strong what you call facilitation point. For me, to be honest, whether one uses software as a service, pay subscriptions or pays upfront costs, and then you have to absorb other costs like human resources and upgrades and all of this stuff. It's neither here nor there right now where we are with where we are in South Africa, especially technology wise. I think it's just a choice, right? Do you want to pay once-off costs upfront, heavy upfront costs, and then lower maintenance costs, or do you want to pay perpetual subscription costs? You understand? So I think it's just a costing model that I think if you're a small startup starting out, it would make sense to say, we're starting out, let's pay lower monthly or yearly subscription costs, maybe depending on what you want to build. But right now with FM, with the technology what is this?
The infrastructure that we
have. Investment that has been made already.
Yeah.
I would think for 2029, it's neither here nor there, to be honest. I think maybe to say, to make a stronger case for the cloud, let us sweat our assets to the max.
Yeah.
To the max. Let's see how far we can take them, how far we can stretch them, because by using virtualized infrastructure, all right, for instance, instead of using one server for this, one server for this, one server for this, one server for this, you're basically saying that we're virtualizing all our server infrastructure. You are in essence creating some kind of a cloud. It's not really a cloud, please. I don't want to be quoted as saying that that's cloud. However, you've got one big server with multiple servers in
This is the cloud.
Not this.
No, I'm saying. Proposing FMES is the cloud.
100%. So it's almost as though you've got one big building with tenants in there, subletting. You see. That's really how I see it. And again, if you're talking 2029, if you're talking 2040, it's something different.
Yeah.
It's something different, because after 2029, we can say, okay, fine, listen here, we've sweated everything. We're going to run this now for the next 3 to 4 years and see where the limitations are. And while we're running that becomes a good baseline for the research that we're going to be doing into what's available out there. And then now we can compare apples with apples to say, are we ready now to make another big investment that's going to last us 20 years and then have a smaller, month-to-month cost? Or are we saying that, maybe for the next 20 years, here the subscription cost, this is what they add up to, is the same amount of money. It's going to be less stress on us. Let's go with that.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a taste of a subscription. It didn't work for us.
First one. Yeah, it didn't work for us. You know why? Leadership. Right now, there's a section within FM that's trying to explore force link, and it's not coming from a point of view, and again, this is my assessment, it's not coming from a point of view of this is what is lacking, but it's coming from a point of view of I am new to FM and I've used force link before. That's it. Right? So the problem that you expressed initially to say, the various silos, and you've got, because of these many silos, there's duplication of efforts, duplication of data. It's a mess, right? These new people find themselves a bit at a loss to say, but where do I get this data? Where do I get this information? Where they find it, but it's okay, we think it's complete, up until they interact with somebody else. So my data set was incomplete, So in my opinion, the leadership is very, very important to say, whether this data set is incomplete or not, that is the one that we use, right? Because if we're using that one, then we're going to maintain that one,
So another comment I got also was that same thing that
Okay.
you're saying is
Yeah.
what's missing here is the role of the people. So
Yeah.
you know, with a business review or business analysis, you always start with the people, the process,
Yes.
and then the tech, right?
100%. Yeah.
And the comment was, I don't see the people. You said the same thing, I don't see the customer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can only assume that they're out here.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
You also said, which is similar, is that you don't see the user. Because if the user of the technology is not visible and is
Yeah.
not consulted
Yeah.
before, there's no buy-in.
Yes.
So there's no adoption.
Yes.
They have too much. There's too much systems. There's too much data.
100%.
You know what? I'm gonna avoid it.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, just black wallet. I'll keep on doing my work, but I'll see this thing
Yeah.
later.
Also, you're saying that there's no leadership.
Yes.
There's no leader in the sense that no
No.
manager is forcing the staff
Exactly.
to use
Yes.
this. You do force link,
Yeah.
and we will do our own on a spreadsheet.
Exactly.
Our own management in a spreadsheet.
100%. So that's mixed communication. And imagine what that does to the people. All right. Imagine what that does to the process. The two most important things that you mentioned before getting to the tech, the people in the process. Without leadership, man, whoever is considered a leader is literally just taking a walk in the park because there are no followers. All right. And those followers, they're literally like cats. Now you're trying to herd cats. Cats, let's go this way. You got to look at you. Yeah, or whatever. I've never tried to call a cat. You know.
So, in terms of
Yeah.
your recommendation, what changes would you recommend I make in this prototype? Besides taking this away and putting it in here. This is now my cloud.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's very good. You know, I actually like this much better because the cloud seemed a bit separated, right, from this. So the way it looks right now, everything goes into this centralized hub,
Yeah.
goes into the cloud, comes back from the cloud
Yeah.
as a request to say, I would like this information, whatever, right? I'm not sure if you want to duplicate tech because I understand why a camera is here for space. However, cameras are very important here, evidence gathering.
Correct.
Right. However, since these are silos which come together here, it probably
need
does
it.
not matter. It probably does not matter because
Yeah.
then they become a user of this technology.
Yes.
But through this,
Yes.
it does not matter whether the technology
It's a
says.
good point.
You understand? So, for example, I mean, this could literally also change if you wanted to. You could change it and literally have what is called an operational technology silo. All the physical electronic technology could literally be a silo. Every single thing, every single sensor, every single camera, every single reader, you know, could literally be a silo. To say, man, all this operational technology,
Yeah.
all of it is accessible
Yeah.
from, and that's currently
Yeah.
what the FMES is actually. You know, that's where all of it is. And if you want anything from there, because you could be looking at items from a compliance standpoint, you know, there's an audit happening, right? And it's a question of, do we just reach into maybe the service desk, which is like kind of like, you know, I'll call it it's not really administrative, but I mean, it's like emails and all the stuff. Or do you want the evidence now, all right? Then you could go to that, what you call operational technology silo.
So,
Right.
it looks like there's too many silos,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the feedback I also got previously.
Okay.
You're trying to solve the silo problem by creating more silos. Your tech looks like
Well,
silos.
Okay, I get that. However, I must say that the way it looks is contextualized silos. All right, we're not talking systems here. We are talking solutions.
Yeah.
If I can put it that way, or
Yeah.
categories, however one might put it. But then here we're talking everything.
Yeah.
Whether this is processes,
Yeah.
this is systems, these are the silos
that's
as
your
well.
enterprise
Mix
system.
and match, right? Exactly. This is your enterprise system, right? There's something else I was thinking about. Okay, it will come about now as I talk about it. But I think that this becomes extremely important as well. Service desk, because we talk about interaction with people. We need to choose as well. How do people interact with the service? Is it self-service? or is it through a service desk? Because a service desk, if it's that big a question, then a service desk can't just be another
On a
one.
level, yeah.
It literally has to almost sit right in front here.
Yeah.
Right in front. You know?
Can you also merge the two? Mobile work management with your service desk.
Does it then not warrant also then merging it with workforce?
Yeah,
Because these are the people out in the field.
correct.
Right? So what I would say is that if I were to, let's say for instance, to redesign this, right? You've got this FMES here. I would have the service desk on the side. You see where this gentleman
Yeah.
is? I would have it on the side here.
Yeah.
And then I would have something that represents self-service on the other side. To say that you can reach this through service desk or through what you call self-service.
There we
right?
go.
And then so as not to maybe cannibalize the different access points or the different channels, you say that these services can only be consumed through service desk. However, we've got certain services that are simple enough to be consumed through self-service. You know, and they, you know, so almost like you've got a service catalog, and then you say, okay, fine, this service is accessible both through self-service and service data,
Yeah.
but this one only service desk, this one only through self-service. I mean, you can think about something like changing your password. Think about IS&T. They'd be busy like crazy if they
Yeah.
have to change people's passwords.
Yeah.
You know, you can probably ask for it, they'll probably help you, but they'll be like, listen here, have you tried doing it yourself
Yeah.
first? So yeah, because I think again it becomes a question of how best can we then access the service. Initially I talked about this being like, let's say like water that people draw from, you know, that can be looked at as like stuff like reports, dashboards, you know, but whenever, because this is stuff that's available, someone can just come and get water. It's not like you need to stand here and, can I please have some water, and say yes, then okay, or someone dishes you the water. So this is stuff that's really available.
Yeah.
You know, it's on a screen somewhere, it's on a portal, you can click on it and check it out, whatever. That's what's really available, but it comes directly from here. It doesn't come from any one of these, it comes directly from here. However, when there are now personalized or specialized services, now those are also offered, and the gateway is a service desk, right?
Yeah.
And the service desk can also advise you to say, you know what, no, you're looking for this service, no problem. It's accessible also via self-service. Please go to this link and you know. But they are intimately connected to here.
Yeah.
They're not sitting far away. They're intimately connected.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
But I like the silos. For me, the categories. But all that people should ever see is the water.
Yeah.
And this tall tower.
Yeah.
Wow, this tall tower. I wonder what I can
Yeah.
get from. But you can see, not everything spills from this tall tower. Wow. Okay. So let me change my cup. Maybe let me get a bigger bowl and see what else
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
pull out of that. You know, type of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, thanks, Tshepo.
Yeah, but this is brilliant. I really like this. I really do.
Yeah.
And you know what I also think.